Danielle Sith wants to lay pipe so bad, like a terrified teenager who keeps trying to figure out what Arrow Ace is because he's pretty sure it might be him. But boy, is she talking about laying pipe, incidentally, just like a terrified teenager who keeps Googling Arrow Ace, but in a locker room, terrified that anyone might figure out that he's all talk and no fornication. See, Danielle is going to miss a bunch of deadlines for getting the new pipeline that Carney called her bluff on, because Danielle was bluffing. Building a pipeline through the Rockies is expensive. TMX costs 34 billion in pre-Trumpflation dollars. Building a second one would nearly double Alberta's massive debt load. And to be clear, the Albertan taxpayer is the ones who would be saddled with paying for the next $50 billion pipeline that they don't need. Because the oil companies don't pay for shit. They bought the premier, they're done paying for things, and they've been really clear about that. The Liberals have pointed out that Alberta still hasn't said thank you for the last pipeline we bought them after the oil companies played poor. So Danielle, the separatists, even Nenshi can say rah rah pipeline, but none of them have the cash to pay for one. Pipelines make oil companies more money, but oil companies don't even pay to clean up their own wells. Heck, Alberta won't even take millions of dollars in federal Accutane funding to fix their pockmarked surface. Look, the oil industry in Alberta takes. That's what everyone knows they do. They pay piddly little royalties, which is why even as oil production is through the roof, Danielle is still somehow managing to spend more money than she makes while underfunding healthcare, education, and housing. No one wants to pay for these pipelines. The oil industry knows that they're a terrible investment because essentially, after this most recent war, every country in the world is doing everything they can to make sure that America crashing out won't destroy their economies again. So everyone is going to be trying to move off oil as soon as they can. Alberta's only got a few more years before the demand for oil is going to never be at this level ever again. And everybody knows that, which is why no one wants to blow the money on a pipeline that will never get paid off.